Hello everyone and welcome back to more Let's Play Subnautica. In the last episode, we made our way down to the inactive lava zone, and we found the data terminal that gave us ion, batteries, and power cells, as well as a blue tablet in the alien base that was down there. We also got a glimpse at the sea dragon Leviathan. Very scary monster indeed. As it shot fireballs at us. So this episode is going to be a little different from other ones. The only real plan I have for this episode is to check out the lore that we've been gathering throughout the game, which, if I could do this Let's Play over, something I think I would do a lot better is showing that lore more as we got it throughout the game, because I kind of have glossed over it. I mean, hell, the last time we really stopped and read lore was in, what, part 5? And now this is part 18. So, I figured before we came up on the end of the game, which we are actually very close to at this point, I'm thinking this series is going to be 20 parts long, so we probably have 2 more episodes after this. But I figured before we get too close to the end, we better read up on the lore. Because I didn't, you know, if I don't stop and do it now, I'm going to end up in a situation where I'm like, okay, we're ready to end the game, but first let's read about the lore. Okay, well, that's the end of the game, bye. And that seems a little, I don't know, weird to me. So, oops, not escape. If we hit tab and go to our PDA here, let's go to the data bank, and let's see, I think we're looking at data downloads. Yeah, so let's start by looking at some of the alien data that we've been picking up. Okay, this is for that robot we saw in the last episode. I'm not going to go ahead and read all this, but I'll leave it on screen for a moment, and I'll just kind of skim over it myself. Basically, this robot is designed to patrol the alien facilities and repair damaged stuff, as well as deter intruders. The thermal plant, let's see, is at 90% efficiency. And that was basically what was powering that database we were in. Now if we go to the alien terminal data, these two we got from that alien database we were at. Let's see, fossil data, indigenous organic remains, 10,000 to 1,000 years ago. Interesting, so it seems there was some kind of extinction event relatively recently, between 10,000 and 1,000 years ago, that radically changed. I mean, this doesn't say that, I'm just kind of inferring this, but that kind of radically changed all of the life forms on this planet. It also seems, yeah, okay, it actually does say down here, mass extinction event. There was about 3 times more life on this planet than before. Huh, interesting. Ion power data. So ion cubes are artificially grown from mineral substance. Yeah, basically they give off a lot of energy is what that's saying. So that's pretty much it we've got for alien data. Don't worry, we'll be seeing a bit more once we get down to the primary alien base. Codes and clues. Let's see. Okay, this is all stuff. Yeah, see, this is how you would kind of know generally where to look for these life pods that we didn't have the coordinates for. Okay, so these are the clues about the primary containment facility, which we have not been to yet. It's within a natural chasm connected to this being the inactive lava zone, this cave network, south-southeast of where the base we were at was. Volcanic activity, depth of 1.4 kilometers, which as of right now is further than we can go down, but once we get the maximum Cyclops and Prawn Suit depth upgrades, then we'll be able to go up to 1,700 meters down. Looks like the plant we were at is actually powering the primary database. That's what that thermal plant is for. Primary containment facility, huh? And quarantine enforcement platforms, sanctuaries, ARC network. Maybe we'll get a better idea of what all that means once we actually get down there. Public documents, the charter. Oh, I think we got this on the Aurora. I just never bothered to look at it. I don't know. This is all kind of, this is the more boring, honestly, lore to me about how like our government works in this world. But we were basically a charter ship. That's the gist of what this is saying. Okay, so now the real meat and potatoes of what I want to get into are the Aurora survivors and the Degasi survivors. The Degasi crew, as you might remember, had a base up on that floating island that we went to in episode 4. And I know this has been so long ago. And again, I really wish I would have looked at this sooner, but if you remember, it was basically a father and son scientist as well as a mercenary that they had hired to help keep them safe, are the Degasi survivors. So let's see here. Bart Togel, I believe, is he's either the father or the son? I think he's the son. Let's take a listen to this voice log.
I thought it might get claustrophobic living underwater. Father feels it is. He'd tell me it was childish, but I stare out of the window and sometimes I think how lucky I am to see this world up close. Back on the island, I wouldn't have believed the creatures that live down here. The fish, they glow. There's one that's 90% eyeball. Snakes twice the length of a habitat compartment. Certainly, it's not all friendly. Most of the plant life is toxic. Learned that the hard way. But I've managed to coax some marble melons into growing indoors. And when they don't cover our dietary needs, well, we eat the fish themselves. It's a bit gross, but it's nothing they wouldn't do. I've been attempting to document my findings. Father approves. He says understanding is power, that the more we know about this planet, the more we can use it to our advantage. I'm just doing it because it's fun. It's not easy without proper equipment and network access, but the old-fashioned way, observing, taking notes, testing theories, shows me the world in a way a spectroscopic analysis never could. Lately, I've been watching the crab snakes. They ambush their prey as it tries to feed on the mushrooms they hide in. What they don't eat settles on the seabed, which fertilizes the mushrooms, which feeds the herbivores, and so the chain continues. Co-evolution gives me the fuzzies.
So, yeah, there's not going to be a lot of talking from me in this episode, probably because of these voice logs, but, yeah, this is from a PDA we found in the Jelly Shroom Caves from that base. Which I don't know why you'd want to make a base down there, but, well, apparently the Degasi crew did. Now, this one is, okay, again, Bart, so let's take a listen.
Something incredible just happened. Since we're down here, I had this plan to build equipment and study the life forms we were encountering, but I didn't have enough enameled glass. So, I started looking for a natural substrate that would strengthen the glass we have, and those stalker teeth we've been finding fit the bill. Only, well, we needed more. That's when Marguerite got interested. She actually listened to me, more than I can say for Father, and I worked up the courage to talk about my more tentative theories. When I told her they were attracted to metal deposits, that their teeth get dislodged when they pick them up, her eyes narrowed and she dashed out of the room. 3 hours later, she came back, her pack loaded down with stalker teeth. I asked her about it. She shrugged and said my theories were good. Said she had the meeting out of the palm of her hand. I think she meant it literally. She is incredible. She went out to the kelp forest armed with just a heat blade and went fin to fin with a pack of stalkers. On the one hand, that is the coolest thing I have ever heard. On the other, well, I hope the stalkers didn't come off worse than Marguerite did. She had a huge gash on her forearm. I don't think things went as smoothly as she made out. What's the point in surviving here if we have to kill everything that makes it so wonderful? I wish I knew more about these animals, but Father won't let me leave the habitat. Maybe with all this glass, we could build a containment unit and get up close to them.
So that's actually how you're supposed to know kind of how to get stalker teeth. I think they put this in because it's not very intuitive when you just see it in the materials list. You're like, stalker teeth? What, do I have to wrestle them out of their mouth? Which it sounds like that's what Marguerite did. But yeah, as Bart explains there, they tend to fall off when they grab the metal salvage there. Now this one I think we already checked out earlier. Yeah, so this is the one we found on the island, and we have already listened to that one. Oh no, it looks like we missed one. We don't have Degasi log number 3. And we also missed one of Paul's. Oh, that's really upsetting. Honestly, I don't know. They're probably, I mean, they are going to be somewhere around the bases that we did check out. I did check out all the Degasi bases, but apparently not as thoroughly as I would have liked. Honestly, I'm probably not going to go back for them. We're going to get the gist of what happened to the Degasi crew. Well, I mean, Bart's Log 3 here kind of shows you already what happened to them. So, I don't know. Hopefully this isn't too disappointing, but I'm not really going to go back for them, so sorry about that. So we've listened to Bart's Log. We've listened to Paul's first one. Let's listen to Paul's third one here.
Came out of nowhere. An alien kraken, bigger than a cyclops. Tore a hole clear through the reinforced hull. I barely got my breather in time. I told her. I said others would come. The rupture threw me clear of the habitat, and the monster turned and bore down on me. And just as its tentacles came within reach, Maida appeared out of nowhere. She had a sea glide in one hand, a jagged piece of scrap metal in the other. She meant to butcher that beast or die trying. The last I saw her, she had the metal lodged in its neck as the monster did its best to shake her, contorting off into the darkness. I'm certain she got her wish, one way or another. Then I thought I saw a light deep below me. I hoped maybe Bart had swum clear. I followed it. Now I wonder whether I saw anything at all. Our oxygen is low. The habitat is gone. I can't see the sky. Something surely has the scent of my blood.
Yeah, so yeah, that's how Paul and, I think when he says Maida, he's actually referring to Marguerite there. But that's how they met there, and basically from what it sounds like, they got attacked by a Reaper Leviathan. And I believe this one we found in the Deep Grand Reef, which is kind of a flavor fail on the game's part, because there's not any Reaper Leviathans in the Grand Reef, but in any case, yeah, it sounds like they got attacked by a Reaper Leviathan. Marguerite managed to fend it off, but it dragged her off into the abyss, and, well, sounds like that's where Paul sunk, too. So now, as far as the general Degasi logs, we've seen the first three. These ones we found on the island. Let's check out this one here.
Son, there is always a pecking order. And in our world, money makes a hierarchy. I pay Maida a fraction of what I pay you, and you a fraction of what I pay me.
If money makes the hierarchy, why is Marguerite making the decisions?
We need her. We let her think what she likes, so long as she does what she's told.
What if she doesn't?
For enough money, she will. People always do.
Yeah, you can see, if you remember from these logs, Paul's not really a big fan of Marguerite. And that's pretty apparent from this log.
We're already 200 meters below sea level. You want to go deeper?
Look around us, Chief. Water leaking through the hull, water outside the hatch. We're drowning real slow. If rescue arrives, whatever shot us down, it's gonna do it again and again until it's shut off. You see an off switch around here, Chief?
Why would it any more likely be half a kilometer down?
Your kid found something on the scanner. There's something down there. Something that shouldn't be.
You're mad.
I'm going all the same, and I've an idea you two are gonna follow. But if you do, be mindful. Your authority stopped at sea level.
So yeah, this one I think was from the Jelly Shroom Caves. And, well, that's kind of how you're supposed to know to go deeper. These logs are also the game's way of giving you hints. Yeah, it also sounds like Marguerite's pretty fed up with Paul, too. Oh, wow, we missed number 7 as well. Oh, that's too bad.
Margaret,
There we go.
has boarded the habitat.
What are you so happy about, Maida?
Say, kid, I brought you something.
Is that a Leviathan outside?
Towed it home on the back of the sub.
You killed that thing?
It's still breathing. I was about to finish the job, but I can stay and chat if you'd like. No? Then make yourself useful and pass me that hardened blade.
Are you out of your mind? You brought that thing here? What if it's not as dead as it looks? What if others come?
You prefer it got curious and came of its own accord, or got messed up and dragged here?
When we get off this planet, I am going to drag you through every court in the damn Federation.
So, Marguerite's actually... Marguerite, I guess as the game said, is actually a badass. Sounds like she took down... I mean, from what we can interpret, it's what's the word I'm looking for? From what we can gather, it's probably a Reaper Leviathan, but it sounds like she actually took one out, which is actually possible. You can actually kill them, but they take a lot of hits with a dagger, which is really... Well, it's not the only way you can damage them. You could do torpedoes, too, but torpedoes, I haven't even really touched on those in-game. If we go to the blueprints here... I mean, you might have remembered we got a torpedo arm for the prawn suit, and there's actually a Seamoth torpedo system. Thing is, though, that the torpedoes really aren't that good in the game. Vortex torpedo, they don't even do that much damage, really. The gas torpedo does a bit more damage. And to make this, to get the gas pods, you collect those from, remember those manatees that like shot the green things out of their butts in the safe shallows? You pick those up before they burst, and that's how you get gas pods. Those don't even do that much damage to it, though. Like, it takes a lot of these gas torpedoes to actually kill a Leviathan. Vortex torpedoes are the more useful of the two. They don't do nearly as much damage, but basically they create a gravity field that'll trap the Leviathan and keep it from moving for a little bit. So the best way is, in my experience, to hit it with one of these, get out, knife it, maybe stop it with the stasis rifle, which we also didn't build, because that's the primary function of that, is to stop things that are coming at you. But there's no real benefit to even killing Leviathans other than to say that you did it. They don't drop anything, they don't have any unique materials, so there's not a whole lot of incentive to go after them. In any case, though, we've got one more Degasi log. Oh no, these are voice logs here. Yeah, we got one more Degasi log to check out here. Disaster.
I have had it with you, risking our lives.
Oh, stow it, Chief. The kid can't kill this disease without fish to study. I'm just bringing him home.
What? Tell her. Tell her I'm right.
You're both wrong. Marguerite, I can't find out how they resist the bacteria if you slaughter them all.
It ain't always they oblige in coming in alive.
He means you're being reckless.
Father, the outcome's no better if we hole up in here and don't go outside. But we have to find a middle way.
There is no compromise. Not while she's on my sea base.
Your sea base?
I'm going outside.
Bart, Torgal has disembarked the habitat.
Bart, come in. It's dangerous. Damn it, boy. I know you can hear me.
Chief, get off the radio and put on your helmet.
What?
Brace!
Yeah, so as you can hear from that roar is very distinctly the one of a Reaper Leviathan, which it sounds like that is in fact what they were attacked by. So, yeah, that's more or less what happened to the Degasi crew. Marguerite got dragged off by a Reaper. Paul got lost and drowned or either got eaten himself. It sounds like Bart did make it back up to the island afterward, but, you know, without being able to really gather many resources. It's not much hope for survival there, and honestly, it sounds like towards the end he was kind of losing the will to live anyway. Excuse me? Okay, so... Yep, that's it for the Degasi survivors. Let's check out some of the Aurora crew. Scanner room voice dialogue.
The way I see it, no one's to blame here.
He gave me the wrong coordinates.
She didn't give me clear instruction. Okay, I'll rephrase. You've been equally incompetent. Now, we've lost time, but we're closer to the planet. So if the Degasi's out there, the scan should pick it up.
Why are we even helping the Mongolians? They're the competition.
Enjoy your shore leave on Sanjay Station? Like having fuel in the tanks? Thank the Mongolians. We run the scans, we show them we didn't find anything, and we say thanks for the free dinner. Clear? Sir, there's something odd on the surface scan here. Turn that recorder off.
Interesting. So it sounds like our ship... I mean, from what I can gather from that, it sounds like our ship was actually on its way here to specifically help the Degasi crew. Which, I don't know if I've ever read this voice log before. I didn't even really realize that. Yeah, as Officer Keene was saying, we run the scans, show them we didn't find anything, and say thanks for the free dinner. So, yeah, it sounds like we were coming here out of a courtesy to maybe see if we could find the Degasi crew, but we didn't have high hopes for it. Or we just weren't going to try that hard. In any case, let's listen to more of our Aurora survivors.
I'm not really a doctor. I know that's what my ID says, but I never have been. Cheated the medical exams. What does a doctor these days need to know about manually resetting bones? When was the last time a top surgeon actually cut someone open? That's what the robots are for. Doctors these days read diagnoses off of computer readouts. For that, I'm perfectly qualified. But what good is it when I'm not connected to the main network? I'm bleeding. I've got glowing green pustules growing on my hands. I run a self-scan and it tells me I've got skin irritation. The only thing I studied in medical school was how to lie convincingly. What the hell do I know about how to treat an alien disease? I think I'm actually going to die down here.
Yeah, so that's another plot point we actually haven't been touching on a whole lot, mostly because it hasn't really come up. But if you might remember from way earlier in the game, we did a self-scan and realized that we were infected with some unknown disease. Now, also earlier in the game, I said that the creatures that have green spots was due to radiation. It's actually not true. The green spots are a symptom of the disease that all of these creatures are carrying, including us. It sounds like, excuse me, pretty much anything that comes on this planet gets infected with the disease. Which, if you remember, in the first above-ground alien base that was in the mountain biome, this is actually a quarantine planet. And at one point, this disease threatened to wipe out the whole solar system. So, Now, you might also remember that we tried to disable the cannon when we were, well, I don't know if we tried necessarily, but we put our hands up to a scanner that said, infected individuals may not disable the cannon. So, as long as we've got this disease, it sounds like that cannon's going to keep shooting down anything that flies near here, which is going to make getting off this planet a lot more difficult. In any case, let's check out Lifepod 2's voice log.
Flotation devices failed.
We're flooding. Evacuate.
Wait. I can reconfigure the O2 system to act as a bilge pump.
It's working.
Okay, good news. We're alive and we've stopped sinking.
Bad?
The oxygen's going to run out in 30 minutes and we're 500 meters down.
What do we do?
We'll have to use the remaining juice to send a distress call and build whatever gear we can. Then we find a way to the surface.
Yeah, if you remember from Commander Yu's distress call, she said that she was making a makeshift sea glide and attempting to make her way to the surface, but unfortunately it sounds like she never made it. Let's see, this one's from Lifepod 4 here.
To any Altera crew. Landed in area of significant alien activity. Encountered predators in the Leviathan class, highly aggressive. Spectroscope scanner assigned species designator Reaper. One specimen attempted to swallow the Lifepod, doing extensive damage in the process. Only viable option is to make for the safety of the Aurora crash site. I have retrieved a data box with the creature decoy and enough resources to fabricate a couple of them. The swim's longer than the decoy lifetime, but it should just be enough to keep them busy. If you don't find me on board the ship, presume I miscalculated.
Well, we didn't, so it sounds like he miscalculated. Yikes. Okay, Lifepod 6 now.
Ma'am, I need you to stay calm. We're not in immediate danger.
Where are the rescue teams?
The Aurora didn't make it.
So, where are the rescue teams?
They're dead, ma'am. We have rendezvous coordinates, but the routes are radiated.
So, what are you going to do?
I'm head of human resources, ma'am. This is not my expertise. But the PDA says if we can find some lead, we can make radiation suits.
Oh, there! I am not setting foot outside this life pod without the proper protection.
Don't worry. I'll go.
Huh. I don't think I've ever read these either. Let's see.
on so long? I thought you drowned.
Put the flare down.
I was going to try and attract someone's attention.
That's not a distress flare. Stop waving it around like that. You'll catch the fuel line.
Well, wow, what a stupid way for that to end. See, this sounds like the one life pod where like the crew member might have been as resourceful as us, so that they might have actually survived had it not been for this passenger. So, well, sucks to be them, I guess. Okay, we got one more log here.
I've tried everything. The analysis circuits on the fabricator are fried. Can barely manufacture the most basic of materials. Want a battery? Here, have a children's toy. Need deep-sea diving equipment? Have some lab tech. Hungry? I'll turn that fruit into dust for you. I'm going forward with trial and error. I hit every button here has got to make something useful eventually.
No, it doesn't sound like that turned out very well for him. Also, wasn't it the captain? I thought he died in the explosion. It sounded a lot like him, but... yeah, that's pretty much it, actually. That's all the lore that we had to read here. So again, sorry I didn't show that more throughout the game. It probably would have been better for me to do. But in any case, we got to see it now. And also, again, sorry about missing some of those Degasi PDAs. Maybe I didn't, though, because I know that somewhere in the sequence it does skip eventually, but I feel like I still missed at least 2 of them. Maybe 3. But we still got the gist of the Degasi story anyway. So, to kind of sum things up, sounds like the Degasi got shot down as they were... I don't know if we ever found out why they were coming here, but maybe they were just nearby, or maybe they were coming to explore the planet. In any case, they got shot down here. We got their distress call, decided to come see if we could help them, got shot down ourselves. Funnily enough, we then called the Sunbeam, who also got shot down here. And now we have to figure out a way to cure ourselves so that we can take down the cannon so we don't get shot down as we attempt to leave this planet. So, can we do all of that in just a span of 2 episodes? Hopefully. Well, in any case, we'll find that out next time here on Subnautica. This is XX, signing out. Have a good day.